Let me show you now the things to come. Soldiers, forces rushing through. They see everything you do.
Hello and welcome, all you gorgeous star watchers of the internet. Here comes Stargate Markab for the full Sturgeon moon in Aquarius on August 19, 2024, happening at 6:25 p.m. in the evening. We're using tropical astrology and universal time coordinated. And this is happening in lunar mansion number 26, which is an Arid mansion of the moon. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. Now, lunar mansion number 26 is Al-Farq al-Muqdim. And this means the forespout of the water bucket. This is according to Warnock. Agrippa reveals that mansion of the moon number 26 as being named Al-Farq, meaning empty. So you see it's like pouring water, that kind of thing. Now ask the angel of Alpha Pegasi, or Markab, who is named Tagriel, to bring agape love to the petitioner. And magicians use Al-Farq or Al-Farq al-Muqdim to form renderings depicting a woman cleansing and grooming her hair. So when you see women in videos or in movies or in pictures washing their hair or combing their hair or doing things to their hair, that's using this mansion. Okay, that brings on the magic of this mansion. Okay, and what it gets for you is it causes you to be able to get help, okay, and support when requesting spiritual friendships and favors from Tagriel, the angel Tagriel. Now, sorceresses and sorcerers also create representations for long-lasting committed relationships, secure journeys by land, strong prisons, and cruel detention centers. So again, when you see this in movies and TV shows and commercials and stories, when you read about it in stories, when you see it in plays, when you see it in paintings, it's being created. This is the mansion. When these kind of renderings, when you expose them to an audience, the audience will be affected, okay? And it'll cause these things to become stronger, or more, to have stronger prisons or cruel detention centers. So these are the kind of things during this mansion. There's also good things, and there's things that some people might think it's good to have a strong prison. Some people might think it's bad. It's relying upon which side of the coin you are on. Whether you think people, but the public needs to be kept safe, or if you think people are being held unjustly. Usually it's in a case-by-case basis whether it's good or bad. And again, it's relying upon your perspective in the situation. All things are like that. All right, now, where Warnock details one of the functions of this mansion as being the fortification of buildings, okay, Agrippa describes that mansion number 26 obliterates jails, okay, wipes them out, detention centers, and other types of structures. Interesting. Therefore, Warnock heeds conjurers to strengthen, okay, such edifices on one hand, and Agrippa on the other hand warns, okay, that these same constructs might be targeted for devastation during this mansion being obviously, again, two sides of the same coin. So you see we have one writer saying, okay, you need to really make your prisons and your detention centers strong and real strict. And then you have the other one saying they're going to get obliterated. So you see, you can, like, if you're on one side of the coin, you can strengthen them so they don't get obliterated. And if you're on the other side of the coin where you think it's unjust, then you can use mansion to get rid of it if you think it's unjust. So you see these kind of things in, like, there's a TV show called Wentworth, and they would use this mansion of the moon. The whole show is about this mansion, and sometimes that detention center is made stronger. Sometimes they have, like, prison riots in it, or uprisings. And they have different, like, governors in there that run the place, and some of them are more nice, some of them are more mean, but some of them, run it better than others. Again, they use this in the media all the time. It's not new. It's been going on since, the Bible talks about these kind of things, and all ancient works talk about these kind of things, all ancient, stories that are written, poems, whatever. And, all the way back to Babylon and before, people drawing pictures on cave walls, it's been going on from the beginning. And it's the the true secret of magic, the true secret of secrets, because it's all about the archetypes, the archetypal mind, the collective unconscious, and it's all about symbols, because symbols awaken all magic. Okay? And of course, the internet now everybody can learn and contribute, okay, in a way that they think is best for either all of humankind, or good for themselves, or good for their family, or whatever a person wants to do. At least everybody can be involved, and that's a good thing, because according to Kabbalah, every person, every creature, every blade of grass has an important donation to make to reality. That every in the Zohar, it says that not even a blade of grass will grow unless an angel above it strikes it and tells it to grow. Okay, so everything has an importance. All things are important. All levels of life and all individuals are important in the entirety of the entire universe. Okay, now the 26th mansion of the moon is also it stretches from Pegasus and through Aquarius into Pisces. So basically, this is from the drawing of the first draining. Okay, that's like the emptying of the water spout of the bucket. That's what the mansion is called. All right, generally speaking. And of course, this has to do, you think about it with Pisces, yeah, and about water. Aquarius, the water, water bear pouring water. Pisces, the fish swimming in the water. And so, but it starts, Markab is in the constellation of Pegasus, okay, Alpha Pegasi, Pegasi. And so it stretches from the constellation of Pegasus, the winged horse, remember Pegasus, okay, and also it goes through Aquarius, the water bearer, and into Pisces, the fish, with lunar angel Tagriel, and the lord of this mansion's name is also Tagriel. So keep in mind that this has this is the full Sturgeon moon, and it happens to be in Aquarius because you have this being in the latter part of Aquarius and beginning of Pisces. So this moon happens to occur within the first portion of this mansion. All right, now the 26th mansion of the moon has coordinates from 21 degrees 25 minutes 40 seconds Aquarius to 4 degrees 17 minutes 9 seconds Pisces. Therefore, the night demon of the Goetia that inhabits the third decan of the third 10 degrees from 20 to 29 degrees 59 minutes of Aquarius is Marquis Decarabia. Okay, Decarabia, the 69th Goetic demon. And this 69th Goetic demon, remember, this is a night demon. A night demon. Yeah, we're talking about that, not the day demon, because it's a lunar mansion. We're talking about where the moon is. We're talking about where the sun is. You're going to want to bring up perhaps the solar deity. Okay? All right, now, Marquis Decarabia possesses the planetary nature of the planet of the moon, or Luna, while the general sign of Aquarius is ruled by the planet Saturn and also Uranus. Furthermore, the night demon of the Goetia that dwells within the first decan, or the first 10 degrees from 0 to 9 degrees 59 minutes of Pisces, is Prince Seri, S-E-E-R-E, the 70th Goetic demon. Now, Prince Seri has the character of the planet of Jupiter, a very generous planet. While again, the general sign of Aquarius has Saturn and Uranus as the overseeing sovereigns. Now, moving right along, we have the Marquis Decarabia. We're going to talk more about him. The Marquis Decarabia materializes initially to the occultist in the shape of a star, okay, or a luminary, maybe even someone famous, on the inside of a pentacle. Have you ever seen stars with people's faces in them, a famous person? That's Marquis Decarabia, okay? That's what it is. Subsequently, after a while, he shows himself in the figure of a human male. Marquis Decorabia possesses the aptitude to realize the intrinsic worth of avifauna, flying creatures, and valuable gemstones. In addition, he causes the likeness of many types of these kinds of birds to take flight, to chirp songs, and imbibe water in an innate manner before the eyes of the occultist. This could have been used partially in the movie The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. So that these things are used also in movies. So you want to know what the magic of Hollywood is. It's in the lunar mansions, and it's in the Guitia, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the king. And this is that book, the Guitia, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the king. This one happens to be a translation by McGregor Mathers. Okay? All right. And of course, there's an edited an introduction by Aleister Crowley. Don't want to forget to talk about some of the giants. Now, okay, now we're moving on to Prince Siri. Shows himself as a beautiful human male. Okay? Conveying the land atop a steed that has wings. We're talking about Pegasus here. It's not a coincidence that we're talking about a steed with wings and we're talking about Pegasus in the lunar mansions. Not a coincidence. It's all very organized. And we know how organized Aleister Crowley was. Okay, about magic. He organized everybody. Okay. Now, his faculty, Prince Siri, is to journey to and fro whilst causing a large quantity of happenings to occur abruptly out of the blue. Furthermore, he has the aptitude to cart every type of item the occultist desires to whichever place he selects, and also is able to bring it back again. Prince Siri is capable of traversing across the entire world in an instant. He has the capacity to reveal to the occultist all manner of acts of pilfering or where secret riches are buried. Prince Siri is of an excellent character and is apathetic, nevertheless, in his personality. Moreover, he is agreeable to complete responsibilities requested of him by the occultist. He'll do the things the occultist asks or petitions or supplicates for him to do. Okay? You know, once you use his image, you know, the symbol and all of that, and you do all the things from the Guitia, you know, and once you've learned all of these things, then of course you can get him to do your bidding. But he's very agreeable. He's indifferent but agreeable. He's detached but agreeable, friendly, and generous, because Jupiter is a ruling planet. Now, this is very interesting. I just watched yesterday with my husband the movie, what was it called? The Legend of the Fall. The Legends of the Fall. It had Anthony Hopkins and several other people, Aidan Quinn, and it had Brad Pitt. Okay. Now, think about it. In that movie, Brad Pitt rides on a horse. Okay, and he's a beautiful man, dressed very nicely, dressed always looking very beautiful. As when he was very young, Brad Pitt. You know, he was like in his early 20s or maybe somewhere in his 20s probably. And, you know, he does these things. He's able to go and do a lot of things for people. He's trying to, you know, he does a lot of things for people. He has this personality. In this movie, Brad Pitt took on the form of Prince Siri. You can just see it. You know, I saw the movie and then I went to write this and I went, wow. And it's coming up, see, on August 19th. They played the movie. That's the way the lunar mansions work. That's the way the Guitia works. They play the movie, the images, and it unfolds. See? And I just happened to go study it. But the reason they played the movie at the same time I was studying is because I'm following the full Sturgeon moon in Aquarius, which is right here in this 26th lunar mansion, El-Fark El-Mugdim, where Pegasus, where the winged steed of Prince Siri, this is all connected. It's how it works, and it's not evil. You read about some of the things that are done in the name of the Lord in the Bible, not very nice, but some of the things that this talks about are not bad. And of course in the movie they do some things that are more like the kind of things they talk about in the Bible. It's a little, a few things that are more violent, but that is not what this is talking about. People may use that, for different things, for whatever, but that's not what the Goetia doesn't really talk about. That kind of, not here, that kind of violence. You know what I mean? Man adds that from his other sources. But basically, Prince Seer is a very beautiful outer and inner being, okay? And another thing you want to, he also talks about the pilfering, that he will tell you where treasure is hidden, and he'll tell you about anybody that's like absconding with money they shouldn't be absconding with, okay? Now think about it. Brad Pitt was also in The Big Short. And what did he tell those two young men? Why did he help them? Why did he, it was all about Wall Street, the real estate market being exposed with the subprime mortgages, okay? And the default swaps and all of that. And they were like exposing that in that movie. And Brad Pitt helped these two young men. They said, why did you help us? They said to Brad Pitt, who had gotten out of the business because he wanted to just be more, live off the land and grow his own food and not be caught up in that kind of thing anymore. But he made money for them, and they were able to sort of, stick it to the people that were hurting, the people that got, hurt in the subprime mortgage problem, the big crash that happened, around 2009, I guess it happened, started in 2008, I guess, happened in 2009, I guess. But Brad Pitt said, you guys said you wanted to be rich. Now you're rich. He showed them where the pilfering was happening, and then they wanted to be rich. He made them rich. They didn't even have to beg him much. He just was very agreeable and friendly and detached, and into his growing his garden. And he was taking on again, I believe, my ever to be humble opinion, Prince Seer. Okay, I think there is even a little bit of that, especially in the beginning, before he became a vampire. In an interview with a vampire, when Brad Pitt was that young landowner riding on a horse, and he was a beautiful young man in that movie. Same thing. Same thing. So this is, I think he said he was like 24 in the beginning of the movie before he became a vampire. But even then, people of that age in their mid-20s were very responsible. They weren't like acting like perpetual teenagers until their 40s. They grew up faster. They didn't live as long, but they grew up faster. So I think that some of that Prince Seer came in the beginning, and maybe even, if you think about his character as the vampire Louis, who didn't want to eat, consume human blood. He was drinking the blood of animals and things. He didn't want to, it was making him kind of feel sick. He was detached in a way from being a vampire, and he was agreeable. He had a kindness to him, and that's that generosity of Jupiter. So anyway, I think this is sort of something that is in Brad Pitt takes that perhaps some of these traits, this beautiful spirit, in some of his movies. I've always been a big fan of he and Angelina Jolie. Okay, now we're going to move along to Star Magic Opportunities from Star Angel Tagriel. Remember, the Lord is named Tagriel too, which provide powerful forces for you to acquire your objectives when this Aquarius moon Markab Stargate is activated by Lunar. According to Asheville, are the following: engage not in matrimony, go on voyages in the morning, return home before noon, remain home during the afternoon and at night, manufacture products and construct edifices, procure attendants, employees, and retainers, receive no friendships, contacts, nor associates, go into seafaring vessels, be watchful, and be vigilant lest you become captured. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. See you next time.
Let me show you now the things to come.